You're looking at a photo of who cops say is a person of interest in the murder of a college nursing student.
She was and still is my best friend.
She was yet is my dearest companion. Each understudy has the right to have a good sense of security nearby for Hayley Anderson, the 22-year-old nursing understudy at Binghamton College. That well-being was broken in Walk 2018. She was only months from graduation previously had some work arranged and invested her free energy dreaming about her future as a making a trip nurture everybody requirements to take a stab at my glasses. Yet somebody she believes somebody who couldn't deal with being told, no way. Ensured those fantasies could never materialize. This isn't simply one more evident wrongdoing story. This is tied in with perceiving genuine risks that could happen to any understudy at any school.
Police in Nicaragua arrested her ex-boyfriend today. Orlando Tercero could be extradited now back to the U.S. for questioning.
More terrible, what befell Hayley might have been forestalled on the off chance that specific warnings hadn't been ignored. This is her story. We should discuss who Hayley truly was, brought into the world in '95 and brought up in Westbury, Long Island. She was that companion that everybody needed to have. Her mother Karen called her a millennial nonconformist in light of the fact that Hayley was only directly up legitimate. She did whatever she might feel like doing, shook her own style, and had faith in the positive qualities in individuals. You know, those understudies who some way or another equilibrium. All that was Hayley. She was squashing it in her 5th year at Binghamton's nursing program. No doubt she really wanted an additional year. Yet simply because she got into their very cutthroat nursing school, she wasn't acing her classes yet, additionally maintaining 2 sources of it. Nungum nearby, you could find her making espresso at Jasmine's or assisting at the library among classes, and Hayley had her entire future outlined. She had previously gotten some work at a trauma center back in Lengthy Island, prepared to begin assisting individuals with correcting after graduation. In May 2018, that was Hayley continuously preparing, continuously contemplating how she could have an effect. Get some information about Hayley, however, and they're generally the person who was the most delicate and steady companion ever. What about Hayley was that she could stroll into a room brimming with outsiders, and inside shortly everybody would be behaving like they'd known one another eternity. That was her superpower, the equivalent characteristics that made Hayley such an astounding companion, her receptiveness, her confidence in individuals, her approach to seeing the positive qualities in everybody. Those were exactly the same things that would make her powerless against somebody who might utilize that trust against her. Hayley resembled most school kids sorting out connections and what they needed from life. She had this thing with Kevin Owampo, another nursing understudy. You realize the exemplary H again off again circumstance was. When individuals got some information about Hayley, he didn't hold back. Did he love her? Yes. Did he see a future with her? Most certainly. However, Hayley was truly about everything she needed. She said to everybody straight up, right, currently. It's tied in with earning that college education. After that, she had designs, large plans, not the typical find a new line of work, settle down sort of stuff her companions all realized. About her California dreams, she needed to get a hipster van, hit the road, and do travel nursing, simply living free, assisting individuals the nation over with doing whatever she might feel like doing this. As additionally implied that a consistent future with Kevin in Lengthy Island was not on her radar. No one realized it then, but rather Hayley's requirement for freedom, her right to pick her own way, would turn out to be at the focal point of all that occurred. Next, Hayley met Orlando Taro at a party at Kevin's off-grounds condo. On paper, Orlando seemed like he had it together. He was one more nursing understudy. He came from Miami, experienced childhood in Nicaragua, and had that great foundation thing going on. His father was a specialist, which made sense of why he was into medication. At first, no one saw any warnings except for you. All we can be so one-sided with regards to Greg. At Foundation Scholarly, his flatmate, Jesse said Orlando was fundamentally experiencing the run-of-the-mill school life crushing during that time, for those passing marks, and afterward, really having a daily existence on the ends of the week, going out having drinks with companions, hitting up parties. Moving, he and Haley appeared to match each other's energy. They were both about the practice. Work-life balance life. They were both merciful comprehension individuals. Things fired getting among them. And even Kevin was cool with it. He flowed with Orlando such a lot of that, he welcomed him to joy. And his fraternity, the two of them communicated in Spanish, and they had that Hispanic association for a minute there, all that appeared as though it was simply commonplace school companion bunch stuff. However, that is what about apparently ideal circumstances. At times they're concealing something way more obscure. From the very first moment Haley kept it 100 with Orlando about what she needed. They could be companions, perhaps connect once in a while. Yet she wasn't searching for anything serious yet. Orlando, he had something else altogether in his mind. And that is when things began getting questionable. Thinking back, now the warnings were shouting, Orlando would appear at it. Haley's condo without messaging. First everybody realized, Orlando got it done, yet Haley. She pursued a decision that came from a decent spot, yet turned out to be perilous. See, she knew whether she detailed him, he could get expelled from nursing the everyday schedule. Extradited exemplary Haley. Continuously pondering others' fates in any event, when they were in a real sense obliterating her property. However, yet being caring to somebody who's showing you that they're risky, that isn't it, by letting the slide. What is happening, deteriorated in some cases. The hardest thing is understanding that safeguarding yourself isn't equivalent to being unkind to another person. Walk 7th 2018. Began like some other chill night. Haley was simply hanging with her roomies, having some wine, playing pre-packaged games. The following morning, Haley was gone. At first, her flatmates didn't pressure too hard. Haley was continuously doing whatever she might want to do. We weren't really stressed by then. Since you know Haley is a young lady, we don't have to keep TS on her yet. Haley didn't phantom individuals party. Oolally not. When she made arrangements the following day, her companions got shrewd and checked. Find my iPhone. It showed her telephone at Orlando's place. When they arrived, and no one addressed, they did what old buddies do. They found a way in through a window. What they found inside, that is the second, their lives changed perpetually. Haley was simply there lying in Orlando's bed. Josie's words hit hard. I didn't realize without a doubt that she was dead at the time. She just was so pale. You realize I'm numb, likely from his bombed self-evacuation endeavor. Here's where it gets convoluted. Orlando had citizenship in both the US. Furthermore, Nicaragua, which implied Nicaragua didn't need to send him back to have to deal with penalties here. Yet they weren't going to simply allow him to walk. Possibly. They found him at an emergency clinic in Lone, inside the space of days where he was attempting to get his self-caused wounds.
You're looking at a photo of who cops say is a person of interest in the murder of a college nursing student.
Police in Nicaragua arrested her ex-boyfriend today. Orlando Tercero could be extradited now back to the U.S. for questioning.
Got this. They hit him with something many refer to as femicide, fundamentally killing a lady you had a relationship with. That is directly to a court in Nicaragua. Haley's mother, Karen, went first, spreading out every one of the receipts about how Orlando had been following and hair in her girl. Did you know? Let you know if she at any point had any issue in her relationship with Mr. Yes. See that he wouldn't quit messaging her and following her and driving by her home. Everybody stood up. Ruffage's companions, flatmates, and even Kevin, who was shattered indeed. Envision how he feels realizing that he was the person who acquainted Haley with Orlando, and knowing he took her from him in the most terrible manner conceivable. Then came the clinical analyst with the ruthless truth. Haley passed on from being star, and the most awful part, she was likely snoozing when it happened. Orlando couldn't deal with the way that Haley was her own individual. Contemplate that he asserted he cherished her, Yet he was unable to acknowledge that she reserved the privilege to settle on her own decisions about her own life. The adjudicator saw directly through him when she gave over. For that 30-year sentence she directly up, said Orlando killed Haley, since he was unable to manage the reality that she had command over for herself, like envision being qualified for the point that you want to simply take somebody's life, since they won't experience your desired way. Haley had dreams, she had plans, she knew precisely what her identity was, and what she needed to help individuals as a medical caretaker to make a trip to carry on with total freedom. Yet that's what Orlando concluded, on the off chance that he had no control over her life. She shouldn't have one at all. That isn't love, that is some thing contrary to cherish, that is directly up evil. When you really love somebody, you believe they should travel to be the best version of themselves, to pursue their fantasies, regardless of whether those fantasies incorporate you. Orlando showed everybody precisely who he was, a defeatist who'd prefer kill a brilliant, wonderful soul than acknowledge that ladies reserve the option to say no. We should talk regarding what we can gain from Haley's story, since this isn't just about the thing happened. It's tied in with ensuring it at no point ever occurs in the future. When somebody is radiating stalker energies or showing strange desire, don't get over it. That stuff can go from M0 to perilous, genuine, speedy. Your hunch. When something feels off, pay attention to it. You are not being emotional. You are being shrewd. Glance at what occurred with the tire slicing. That wasn't simply property harm. That was an entire admonition sign in HD. When somebody will obliterate your things, they're showing you precisely what their identity is, and definitely perhaps you need to be pleasant. Perhaps you need to give renewed opportunities, yet not at the expense of your security. Your care group matters too. Haley's companions saved the examination by keeping receipts on Orlando's way of behaving and checking Find My iPhone when things felt wrong, and when somebody hits you with that, I'll hurt myself on the off chance that you leave me talk. That isn't love, that is control. And it very well may be an indication that they could hurt you. 2K's mother Karen is over here ensuring that her girl's story saves lives. She is pushing hard to get individuals to comprehend what femicide is and why we want to view those warnings in a serious way. Since here's reality grounds. Security isn't just about strolling with your telephone spotlight on around evening time. It's tied in with perceiving when a circumstance could turn perilous and really taking care of business. And you all know one's schooling is worth more than your life. In the event that somebody is acting fixated, let someone know. If you see your companion managing somebody who's radiating terrible energies, say something. Don't hold on until it's past the point of no return, assuming that something feels wrong. It likely is Haley, as we recall her, this astonishing future medical caretaker, this girl who made her mother glad, this companion, who generally had everybody's back. We should gain from what happened. Stay ready, pay attention to your gut feelings, and safeguard yourself and your companions in light of the fact that by the day's end, the life you save may be your own or another person's. Hello, gratitude for watching. Leave a remark down underneath and let me in on how you keep yourself and your friends and family safe. And before you go, ensure you like and buy, and see you soon, definitely.